And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day. And if you would like to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, no worries. Head over to our YouTube channel. We post all of our episodes there daily. And if you just want to listen and don't want to watch, that's perfectly fine as well. We are on podcasting apps. Spotify's the big one right now. Still trying to work my way into the other one. So on Spotify right now. But yeah. Watch, listen, we've got you covered on multiple ways. Alrighty, today is Tuesday, so we have to update our NFL cash and trash list for Week 13. We have to update our power rankings. We have to talk about two NFL games that were on yesterday, and we have to give you our moneymaker for today's game. We got a Tuesday game. Finally, we have a Tuesday game. We've been getting teased with these two Tuesday games. I mean, remember kind of earlier in the season when the Titans had their COVID outbreak, that makeup game was supposed to be scheduled for Tuesday. Then it got pushed back. And then, we were supposed to have the Tuesday game last week, but that got pushed back to Wednesday. But now we finally get it Monday, Tuesday. Cannot wait. So finally, we get a game tonight at, I think it's at like 8:20. So nice late game on Tuesday. Feeling good about it. So without further ado, let's jump into our stories. And we only really have one to talk about. And this is the one that we started to talk about yesterday. So here we go. The Panthers, they had no more positive COVID-19 tests today, so that's good. But they did place 8 players on the COVID-19 list yesterday, and 3 players out of those 8 have tested positive for COVID. The other 5 are close contact, high risk. Now, we don't know who these players are. They haven't been named. We do know that DJ Moore is one of those players that is on the COVID-19 list, but we don't know if he's one of the 3 positives or one of the 5 that are close contact. So we don't know that. We'll still get more information as this week progresses and as they get ready to go for Sunday against the Broncos. But this game's still going to be played. It doesn't look like this is an outbreak like what happened with the Titans or the Ravens. So it should be all good to go. Alrighty, that was it. That was the one story we really had to get out of the way. So let's start talking about yesterday's games, and then we'll get into the cash and trash list. Then we'll get into our power rankings. Then we'll get into our Moneymaker Pack show today. All right, here we go. Okay, folks, can we all just take a deep breath? I know it hasn't even been 24 hours yet. I mean, the game wasn't even over yet, and people took to Twitter and was like, this is the Steelers team that, is undefeated. This is the team that was supposed to be the Chiefs. Ha, 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 ha. Everybody was clowning them. And can we all just take a deep breath in? The Steelers schedule this year has been very wonky, and not because of their own fault. They, the other teams, their opponents, they had the COVID outbreak. So we're giving the pass to the Steelers here a little bit of a pass, not a huge pass, a little pass. They had to go, on Monday and play at 5. They had to go play last week, Wednesday at 3:30. I mean, folks, this is tough. You need a schedule when you play football. That's why every game is on Sunday. That's why you get an entire week to prepare. That's why you know your opponents for the entire season, right off the rip. The Steelers didn't have that luxury this season. Their games are getting pushed all over the place. They're playing on Monday. They're playing on Wednesday. They're playing at 3:30. They're playing at 5. No team knows what it's like to play on Wednesday at 3:30, okay? So, yeah, the Steelers won that game that they played, but that's still a wonky game. This is still a wonky game here. Monday at, 5 o'clock. It's just real weird. So we're not going to penalize the Steelers too much here for losing this game. We still will have to penalize them a little bit in our power rankings. I think they are going to drop from number 1, folks, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, yes, and they lost against Washington, which makes the loss look a little bit worse. But this Washington team, I mean, they're very well coached, people. And if you haven't learned it by now, coaching matters, at least this season. I mean, we're seeing it all over the place. If you have a good coach, you're pretty much going to be winning the games and probably be in the playoffs if you have a good coach. I mean, look at the Cowboys, folks. That's all the proof you need of coaching. So they've got a good coach here in Washington. They got a good coach in Pittsburgh as well. I'm not saying that Mike Tomlin's not a good coach, but yeah, the Steelers team 11-0 coming into this game. No other team was undefeated. That was a huge pressure on the Steelers team. The undefeated season, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's clowning them. How the heck are they 11-0? All that. So a lot of pressure on the Steelers team, and I think they did the best that they could given the circumstances of their schedule and the COVID outbreaks and the undefeated season and everybody clowning them, nobody giving them a chance. So it all collapsed. And is this going to be a good thing for the Steelers? Now they finally got their one loss out of the way? Yeah, possibly. I mean, to go undefeated and now you're 13-0 and now you're like, I mean, we have to go undefeated. We have to keep winning these games. And I mean, the goal of every game is to win it. So I mean, yeah, it's not like, you're going to play worse because you're undefeated. I don't think it works like that, but we're going to digress a little bit because I'm going off the rails a little bit. So let's just dive into this game. Here we go. Steelers, we'll start with them. I mean, their running attack was non-existent, but it was kind of non-existent for Washington as well. So let's start here with the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger threw it 53 big times, 33 of 53 for 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Damn it, Big Ben. And when did it come? It came at the worst time on their potential game-winning, game-tying drive with 2 minutes left. Big Ben, ball gets tipped in the air. It's picked off. Not really Big Ben's fault. It's just unfortunate. I mean, these balls were getting dropped and tipped by his receivers all game long, and it finally fell in the hands of Washington late at the game to really close it out. As I said, the running attack for the Steelers was non-existent. Benny Snell, only 5 yards. Anthony McFarland was the leading rusher with only 15 yards. So, I mean, just non-existent. Having to rely on Big Ben to do really everything. And he tried his best, but these receivers, they were dropping wide open passes. Eric Ebron, he dropped a ton. So not great outing by his tight ends and wide receivers, unfortunately. We see James Washington, the leading receiver, with 80 yards and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson has 71 yards and a touchdown. Eric Ebron had 68 yards, no touchdowns. Chase Claypool only had 38 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster only had 28 yards. I mean, I know the wide receiver core is deep, but Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster are clearly the top two. And then, yes, James Washington and Deontay Johnson are both good, but you still have to get the ball into your playmakers, your best weapons, and they just didn't do that this game, and it definitely hurt them. They only put up 17 points. All right, let's talk about Washington now. Alex Smith, 31 of 46 for 296 yards. He was literally dinking and dunking all over the field. I mean, if you watch this man, all of his passes were literally the same. It's just kind of a tight end or a running back, just an out route out to the flats to the right of the sideline. I mean, they hit that pass at least 10 to 12 times. That's basically all Alex Smith was doing, dinking and dunking. Rarely went down the field, but when he did take his deep shots, they did kind of get caught. So I will give the man a little bit of credit there. Once again, Washington's running game was non-existent. The leading rusher for Washington was Peyton Barber with only 23 yards and a touchdown. Antonio Gibson, he got injured very early in the game, 2 rushes for 14 yards. So, I mean, their rushing attack was non-existent as well. And, so it just came down to really defense and passing in this game. And somehow Washington comes out on top. I don't really understand it. So we're just going to kind of mark it up on a little bit of a wonky Monday 5 o'clock loss. I mean, that's exactly what we're just going to mark this one up to. Not saying the Steelers are bad, not saying the Steelers are good, just going to take this one isolated win. We'll see if they bounce back. I'm pretty sure they will bounce back next week. Steelers only putting up 17 points. That you really don't see that too much. So the offense just did not get going. They didn't really take a lot of deep shots. I mean, they were a little conservative in their play calling as well. So we'll see what happens next week with the Steelers. But let's all take a deep breath in. They lost. They're still a very good team. They can still beat the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's clowning the Steelers. This Steelers team is still good defensively, and they still have weapons offensively. They had a bad showing. I mean, Chiefs had a bad showing. They had a bad showing at home against the Raiders. Nobody talks about that. They also had a bad showing. I mean, last week they only put up 22 points, offensively. And, remember that time where they were losing against the Chargers and it had to take like a last-second win for them to come back in overtime? So can we all relax? No team is going to blow out everybody every single game. Games are close. If you're on a wonky schedule like the Steelers have been the last 2 weeks, you're probably gonna lose a game. I mean, it's just you have a rhythm. It's football players. The entire season, it's all rhythm. It's all rhythm. All right, we play on Sunday. We practice Monday. We practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We get ready. Saturday's the walkthrough. We're good to go on Sunday. It's everything is very, very, to a T there. So when that gets, jumbled around, they were supposed to be playing on Thanksgiving, and they supposed to have the bye a couple weeks ago, and they lost both of those things. So, let's all relax on the Steelers. They're still a very good team. Defensively, they can keep up with the Chiefs, folks. They can keep up with the Chiefs. If the Steelers and Chiefs face, it's going to be a very, very good game and a very, very tight game. Very, very tight. So that was Washington Steelers. Very well done by Washington to really just stay in the game. They were sputtering in the first half, only put up 3 points, and then they come out and put up 20 points in the second half. So very well done. Just sticking to it. Everybody buys into Ron Rivera. They'll eventually get there. They'll get there. They had to overcome their running back, Antonio Gibson, getting injured in the first half, so they overcome all of that. Very well done to Washington. All right, but that was only the first game. The second game was Buffalo and the 49ers, and man, oh man, Josh Allen, he had himself a game. But, so we got to give Josh Allen a little bit of credit. Let's start with him first. 32 of 40 for 375 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, no fumbles, clean game from Josh Allen. This game really kind of looked a lot similar to the Bills versus Seattle this season. The 49ers were playing like zone defense the entire game, and I don't want to knock Josh Allen again because I knocked Josh Allen for it on the against the Seattle game, but it was like all wide open passes. The 49ers defense was running just zone constantly, and you would just have Cole Beasley or Stephon Diggs just run kind of like 5-7 yards down the field and then come back route, sit in that open spot of the zone, and Josh Allen would deliver a wide open ball. Now, I don't want to, you're taking what the defense gives you, so there's nothing Josh Allen could do about it. He's making the right throws. It's just they were kind of all wide open. Not really too many contested balls that he was trying to fit it in there, but they still get the win, and we still respect it a little bit here. So Josh Allen had a very, very great game. The running game, decent as well. Devin Singletary, 18 carries for 61 yards. That's what you want to see, 3 yards a carry. He got it done. And look at this, Cole Beasley, leading receiver for Buffalo, 130 yards on 9 receptions and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions for 92 yards. So he's going to his best weapons. He knows where his weapons are, and he goes to them. So another, reason why I do respect Josh Allen here. He's going to his actual playmakers, and you'll love to see that. So very well done there. Oh no, Josh Allen, he did fumble. Oh, he did fumble twice and he lost one. So I take that back. I take it back. Look at this. Josh Allen, he fumbles here in the first half, in the first quarter, and then the 49ers go down and take it for a touchdown. So, yeah, Josh Allen didn't have a great game. He turned the ball over. Not good. I forgot about the fumble. How could I forget about Josh Allen fumbling? I love to see it because it happens a lot, folks. He doesn't really throw too many interceptions, but the fumbles, those are killer, and he did it. He fumbled here twice. Oh, my goodness. Not good there by Josh Allen. I take it back. Good job passing, but when he takes off, when he's in the pocket, he fumbles the ball a lot, folks. So he's still doing that. Not great. Not great. And then we look at the 49ers. Nick Mullins, 26 of 39 for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Never good with the 2 interceptions. Let's see where these interceptions came. Both coming in the second half. Also not very good. And the first one coming here in the third quarter. They weren't really driving, but, he still throws an interception, and Buffalo goes and only held to a field goal. I mean, look at this. They started on the San Francisco's 5-yard line, and they could not punch it in for a touchdown. Unfortunate. And then his second interception came in the fourth quarter, where the defense once again cleans up and forces the Bills to punt. So look at that. But this interception, they were driving on this pick. They were on Buffalo's 5-yard line, and then Nick Mullins throws an interception. So unfortunate there, trying to come back into the game. You make a touchdown there. You're only down 10 points with 7 minutes left. I mean, it's a little doable at that point. But then, you throw the interception. Now you're still down 17 points with 7 minutes left, and at that point the game is over. So Buffalo had a very good day offensively. Josh Allen, very kind of clean game besides the fumbles. But passing the ball, it was real great. I mean, he had 8 incompletions, throwing it 40 times. That he was looking real good. So 49ers defense, a little, once again, back to lackluster. I thought they were finally getting it figured out. Richard Sherman was back. They were good last week, holding the Rams to only 20 points. But they give up 34 points to the Bills here. Damn. So Bills get the win. Washington gets the win. Both on the road. Both win their Monday night matchup. So well done by both those teams. All right. Let's go to our cash and trash list. There is still one game to be played in Week 13, but we will make any additions if we need to in our cash and trash list or in our power rankings if we need to. Ravens, Cowboys play today. Both those teams are not currently in the top 10 or will be in the top 10 right now. I doubt if the Ravens win, the win will look that good where they need to be in the top 10, and the Cowboys will never get near the top 10 as long as Mike McCarthy's the head coach. So I don't think we'll have any last second adjustments here to our lists. Alrighty, so let's start with the cash list here. This was the cash list going into Week 13. We had the Steelers defense, the Dolphins defense, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Deshaun Watson, Antonio Gibson, Robbie Gould, Nick Folk, and Latavius Murray. And I'll tell you right now, at least one person on this cash list is going from the cash list to the trash list. I'll let you guess before we get there. So let's start right from the top to the bottom. The Steelers defense, we got to reevaluate all these and then do the addition. So here we go. We'll start at the top, reevaluate them, see who stays, see who goes. So the Steelers defense is the first one we've got. And I mean, they gave up 23 points to Washington. Not the greatest. They kind of gave up this kind of game-winning field goal drive here. This is the touchdown. They officially tie the game. And then this field goal drive with, 5 minutes left. The Steelers defense bends a little bit, and they give up the field goal. So we're going to finally have to take off this Steelers defense, folks. It's truly unfortunate. They didn't even get an interception. They didn't get a fumble recovery. The defense, they own the best thing that they did was hold Washington to 23 points, but they didn't get a turnover. They let them drive down with 5 minutes left, take the lead in the fourth quarter. That's when the defense really needs to step up, and that's why the Steelers have been on this cash list. The defense has been on this cash list for so long. It's because their defense, they were forcing a lot of turnovers, bending and not breaking, not giving up, those points in the fourth quarter, not giving up any game-winning drives. That's why they were 11-0. But everything has to come to an end, and the Steelers defense is officially coming off the cash list. It's been the longest running cash list nominee here. I mean, they started on September 27th, folks, and it's now with December 8th. That's a hell of a run. So we salute the Steelers defense, but it finally has to fall. How unfortunate. So goodbye, Steelers defense. Hopefully you guys can get back on here next week. Alrighty, here we go. Dolphins defense, and I mean, they held the Bengals to 7 points, folks. That's pretty good. Where's the game? Right here. Holding the Bengals to 7 points, fantastic. They got an interception. They got 2 interceptions. So I mean, they did everything that you want them to do. Hold the team to only 7 points. That's very good. If you hold the team to only 1 score in a game, that's usually very, very good, folks. I mean, not scoring at least like 10 points in a game. Ooh. Not good. So very, very well done to the Dolphins. Turnovers, holding the team to only 7 points will keep the Dolphins defense on here for another week. All right, now we go to Patrick Mahomes, and they got the win. He did throw 300 yards. I will give him that. But 1 touchdown, no interceptions, only 26 yards rushing. So this is a very solid game by Patrick Mahomes. Don't think we're going to count it as kind of cash. Only 22 points, a very close game. 3 points in the fourth quarter, nothing, too spectacular like we get with Patrick Mahomes. So we are going to have to take him off. It was a very good performance. Don't get me wrong. Don't think it's quite cash, though. Don't think it's quite cash. All right, so we take Patrick Mahomes off. All right, Tyreek Hill was the next one, a little bit wonky here. So let's go back to here. Tyreek Hill now. What did he do? Only 58 yards, no touchdowns. Could have had more yards and a touchdown if he knew he caught the ball, which he didn't. He didn't know he caught it. He did catch it. So, unfortunately, we are going to have to take Tyreek Hill off the list as well. Good performance, solid performance, not quite cash level. All right, now we go to Nick Chubb. All right, actually, we can do these at the same time. Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry both were on the cash list. Both face each other this week, and the Browns come out on top. So let's start with Nick Chubb here. He had 80 yards and a touchdown. Derrick Henry only had 60 yards and no touchdown. So I was originally going to take both these players off the cash list, but I think we're going to leave Nick Chubb on. This was a head-to-head matchup. Nick Chubb, clearly played better than Derrick Henry, and we're going to leave Nick Chubb on. When we get, players going at each other on the cash list, I do like that. So let's give it to Nick Chubb. We'll keep him on. He outperformed Derrick Henry. So Nick Chubb stays, Derrick Henry goes. Alrighty, then we go to Deshaun Watson. And oh boy. When you have a chance to win the game and you beef it, man, that's not cash, I'll tell you that. Deshaun Watson, down 6 points, gets all the way down to the Colts 2-yard line. It's second and goal. They had second down, third down, and even fourth down. They would have had to go for it on fourth down, folks. So that's 3 plays that they could have tried to win the game, but it gets cut short because Deshaun Watson fumbles the ball, fumbles the snap, and then they lose the game because of it. So that's not cash, folks. You know what that is? That's trash, and I'll just leave it at that. So we'll leave it at that for now. Deshaun Watson, unfortunate, has to come off the cash list. All right, then we go to Antonio Gibson, and we said it right at the top of the show when we were breaking down Washington Steelers. The man got injured real early in this game, only had 2 carries for 14 yards. So unfortunate what happened to Antonio Gibson, but we are going to have to take him off the cash list. Sucks when you get injured, truly. Alrighty, so he's off the list. Oh my goodness, so look at this. I mean, we barely got anybody on this list. Don't worry, we got some additions too, so no worries there. All right, let's go to Robbie Gould. He was on this cash list because he hit a game-winning field goal against the Rams last week, but unfortunately here, didn't need his services too much. Only 1 field goal. He did make it. 3 extra points. He made them all. But, in the grand scheme of things, they never really needed him. He never had a chance to really prove himself as cash. So he had a good game. He did everything they asked of him. Hey, we're going to have you out there for the field goal. He made it. Hey, the extra points, make all those as well. So, good game, but just not really cash. His team loses. And, it's just unfortunate. So well done hitting the game winner last week. But this week, got to come off the cash list. All right, then we go to Nick Folk. They didn't even need him. 45-0. Oh, my goodness. They didn't even need Nick Folk. But he was there anyway. And what did he do? Let's see what this man did. Nick Folk. Here we go. 1 field goal, 6 extra points. 6 extra points, and he hit them all. Very well done. And because of that, I think we leave him on. I mean, 6 extra points. Yes, extra points are easy to make. But, you've got 6 of them. You probably missed one. He doesn't. So I think, are we going to leave Nick Folk on here one more week? Let's leave him on here one more week. 6 extra points. Calling his number all day. And he answers the call every single time. So let's give him a little bit of credit there. All right, and then that brings us to Latavius Murray. He's our last person that we have to reevaluate before we get to our additions here. And we'll go here. I mean, he didn't really do anything. 5 carries for 17 yards. Did he catch the ball? He caught it twice for no yards, so not a good day for Latavius Murray. They went back to Alvin Kamara finally, and that's why Latavius Murray did not have a big game. So thank you for your services, Latavius Murray, last week, but this week they are no longer needed. Look at this cash list, folks. Only 3 cash players. Oh, my goodness. But we have some additions, and we do have a couple of them. So, we're going to fill it right back up. So let's start here. Let's go to Jags and Vikings. We'll start it here. Where is the game? Here we go. Vikings in overtime. Game-winning field goal. We're putting kickers back on this list. Dan Bailey drills a 23-yarder, and he missed a field goal earlier in this game, so he's lucky. He's lucky he made up with this one. What was the one that he missed? How far was that? Let's see that. Missed field goal. The game winner in regulation. Oh, my goodness. He's lucky he made up for it. Only 51 yards. Very makeable. But he makes up for it in overtime. Kind of lucks out. So we're going to give him a cashless spot there. When you hit the game winner, you hit the game winner. So well done, Dan Bailey. Took you twice. But, hey, sometimes, you get a second chance sometimes, and he makes the most of it. So well done, Dan Bailey. We're going to put him on the cash list. All right, and when was Sunday? Let's get the date right. 12/6. Perfect. All righty. All right, our next edition is going to come from the Jets-Raiders game. All righty. Folks, we've got a game-winning 50-yard bomb Hail Mary. The thrower, Derek Carr. The catcher, Henry Ruggs. So congratulations to both of these players. Game-winning. Not quite walk-off, but very close to walk-off. Derek Carr throwing the ball 50 yards deep, right on the money. And then Henry Ruggs just absolutely obliterating his defender. The double move on the outside kills the cornerback. He's wide open in the sure hands of Henry Ruggs. Brings in the beautifully thrown ball by Derek Carr, and they upset the winless Jets for another week. How crazy was that finish, folks? So, well done, Derek Carr, Henry Ruggs. Welcome to the cash list. Welcome. All right. Our next cash list nominee is going to come from Browns Titans, and we have to honor this man. His first time on the cash list, Baker Mayfield, 25 of 33 for 334 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Absolutely magnificent game. All those yards and touchdowns coming in the first half, basically, and we absolutely love it. Very well done, Baker Mayfield. He stepped up to the occasion. Their hardest game so far this season, and he makes it look like the easiest game he's played all year long, folks. What a game from Baker Mayfield. Who would have ever thought we would be saying that? But we still did see that fumble at the end of the game, so clean it up next game. We want a flawless game from Baker Mayfield, but in the first half, it was absolutely fantastic, so well done. Alrighty, our next cash list nominee is coming from Seattle and the Giants, and folks, Wayne Gallman. Colt McCoy only threw for 105 yards, so yards and points had to come from somewhere, and the yards came from Wayne Gallman. 16 carries for 135 yards. Unfortunately, he did not have a touchdown, but they give the touchdown to Alfred Morris, kind of, in the short yard situations. But Wayne Gallman, as I just said, Colt McCoy wasn't throwing the ball around the field. How they had to get the yards was relying on Wayne Gallman to go and pick up all the yards he could, and he did that to a T, 135 of them. Absolutely fantastic. So they go on the road as division leaders, and Zeke, this is what you're supposed to do, baby. When your quarterback's out and now you're the guy, you're the main weapon, you're the running back, you have to step up, and Wayne Gallman did it, and we're still waiting for Zeke to do it, and it's been 6-7 weeks. So this is how you do it, Zeke. Wayne Gallman is better than Zeke. We'll say it right now. Wayne Gallman is a better running back than Zeke Elliott, and we stand by it. Well done, Wayne Gallman. Alrighty. Let's go to we have more additions here. Two more. All right, our next addition is going to come from Green Bay. And very close to putting Aaron Jones on here, very close, but we're going to make it a little exclusive, and we're only going to put one player on here from Green Bay, and we're going to go with Davante Adams. He had 121 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. You love to see it. Aaron Jones very close as well, 30 yards and 1 touchdown, but we're going to go with Davante Adams over Aaron Jones this week. So well done, Davante Adams. Welcome back. This is not his first time on the cash list. Definitely won't be his last. Very great, reliable receiver. Davante Adams, well done. Alrighty, and then we've got one more addition here. And this one comes from Buffalo. Buffalo, we're giving Buffalo some love here today. I don't like to do it often. Josh Allen, he did lose a fumble. Not good. Do we not put him on because of that fumble and the 2 other fumbles that he had? 2 fumbles, lost one of them, but he played really good. All right, we're gonna give it to him. We're gonna keep Josh Allen on the cash list. 32 of 40, 375 yards and 4 touchdowns. Even though a lot were wide open, we're gonna give the man some credit. Just clean up the fumbles. You and Baker Mayfield. Look what you got me doing. I got Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield on this list, even though they both fumbled once and lost it during the game. That tells you how good of a game that they played to overcome that kind of fumble mistake. So, well done, Baker Mayfield. Well done, Josh Allen. But please keep it up. Please keep it up because we know you have tendencies to turn the ball over in the bigger games. So, hopefully we don't look like clowns come next week. Alrighty, so that's the cash list going into next week. Kind of a little list here, so hopefully we get some more great performances next week. All right, that's the cash list. Let's go to the trash list, the bad side of the list, the side of the list that nobody wants to be on. If you're on the same list as Adam Gase, you're probably on the wrong list, folks. So this was the trash list going into Week 13. We had Adam Gase, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Mike McCarthy, Ezekiel Elliott, Anthony Lynn, Joey Sly, Zane Gonzalez, and Mitch Trubisky. So we have to evaluate all these people again and then go to our additions. So we'll start at the top, go to the bottom. Adam Gase is the first one we have to review. And I mean, folks, they lose the game. Not 100% on Adam Gase's fault. You can give it, blame it on the defensive coordinator. That's fine as well. But in the grand scheme of things, the Jets end up losing the game. And, Adam Gase, he's the head coach. So he hired the man. That's one of his calls. So he brings him in. He brings the defensive coordinator in. Can't even trust your own guys. Can't even trust your own judgment to hire somebody that will not screw you and get you a win. Adam Gase, you stay on here one more week. Get a win, Adam. Get a win. All right. Now we go to Carson Wentz, and this man gets benched. He didn't turn the ball over, but he wasn't good enough to actually stay in the game. So, unfortunate. We are going to have to keep Carson Wentz on this trash list for another week. 6 of 15 for only 79 yards, and he gets benched. Unfortunate. So, Carson Wentz, we'll keep him on the trash list. If he doesn't play next week, we probably take him off, because if you don't have a chance to weekly try to get yourself off this trash list, we're not going to leave you on. So Carson Wentz is still going to stay on the trash list. If he plays next week, he has a chance to prove himself to get off the trash list. If he doesn't play, we take him off anyway. All right, Tom Brady, he's on a bye this week, so we're not taking him off. You have to kind of prove yourself. If you're the starter, you have to prove yourself to get off the trash list. So Tom Brady stays another week. Mike McCarthy, he plays today. I don't think he gets off the trash list. I think he'll stay on it, but, we'll see tomorrow. Same thing with Ezekiel Elliott. He plays today as well. I doubt he gets off the trash list, but if he does, we'll take him off tomorrow after we see him play decently well, which I don't think it will happen. Alrighty, here we go. Anthony Lynn, and I mean, my goodness, you didn't even put up any points. You put up 0 points in a game. That's unheard of. I think that's only happened one other time this season, and it was the Dolphins doing it to somebody, doing it to the Jets. So, not good. If you're on the same list as Adam Gase, shut out teams, Anthony Lynn for the Chargers and Adam Gase for the Jets. I mean, folks, what more do you need? Yes, we are going to keep Anthony Lynn on this trash list. Where the heck is the game? I'm trying to bring it up. 45-0, non-competitive. You are at home. I mean, this offense, look at, all right, so they gave up 45 points. Right, but look at these offensive numbers for New England. 69-yard passing by Cam Newton, 80 yards rushing by Damian Harris. That translates to 45 points? No, because the Chargers defense is trash. The Chargers offense is trash, turning the ball over. The special teams is trash. Pick sixes, fumble recoveries, short fields all relate to 45 points with only 80 yards rushing and 60 yards passing, folks. So not good. Anthony Lynn, clean up your team. You got blown out by the Patriots with Cam Newton. You have Justin Herbert and you put up no points? Come on, Anthony. You should be fired, truthfully. So we'll keep you on the trash list for another week. Can you make it even competitive? I mean, you're usually decently close. You just blow the lead. This one, it's not even close. Not even close. Alrighty, then we go to Joey Sly. Kicker for... Who does he play for? Do we even know who this man plays for? Do we even know who this man plays for? Who the heck does Joey Sly play for? He's actually on a bye this week. He plays for the Panthers, and he's on a bye. So we have to keep this man on the trash list until he proves himself. All right, but we can check out Zane Gonzalez. So let's see what this man was up to this week. Zane Gonzalez, he plays for... Oh, man, I'm trying to remember. Oh, man, I got to put it on the notes. Zane Gonzalez, here we go. 1 second. The Cardinals, here we go. There it is. All right, Zane Gonzalez, he had 1 field goal in this game and missed it. He missed it. And they lose the game, not because of him, but let's see. Let's see where this missed field goal came from. At the end of the first half, and it's a 48-yarder. Zane Gonzalez, come on. You could have made it 14-10 going into half. Instead, it's 14-17. Zane Gonzalez, that's kind of trash to me. You have 1 field goal, and it's inside 50, and you miss it, and your team loses? We're going to call him trash still. Zane Gonzalez stays on the trash list. All right, and then Mitch Trubisky, and folks, you can say, yes, his stats look good all you want. At the end of the day, they were up 10 with 3 minutes left, and they blow the game, and Mitch Trubisky is a main factor of why they lost this game. Why? Because on their last possession here, he fumbles the ball. He fumbles the ball with 1 minute and 54 seconds left. Lions only down by 3 at this point. You give away the game. He just gave away the game. Mitch Trubisky single-handedly lost them the game. They turn the ball over. Chicago gets it on the 7-yard line. It takes how many plays? They go 2 plays for 7 yards, cash in on the Mitch Trubisky fumble. So I don't care that Mitch Trubisky put up 30 points finally. I don't care that Mitch Trubisky went 26 of 34 for 267 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He fumbled the game away. In the most precious part of the game, the end of the fourth quarter, he fumbles the ball? Come on, Mitch, you just lost millions of dollars. Congratulations. You're no longer a quarterback in the NFL. Is that what you wanted? Congratulations, because that's what happened to you. Mitch Trubisky, you are officially trash, 100% trash. You can't even beat the Lions, who just fired their head coach. You fumbled the ball at home? Come on. Oh, my goodness. Trash. That's absolutely trash. So, Mitch Trubisky, he stays on the trash list, obviously. Alrighty, let's go to our additions now. We have a couple of additions, 3 big additions, and Mitch Trubisky is not going to be the only. Mitch Trubisky, Tom Brady, and Carson Wentz are not going to be the only quarterbacks on this list. We've got more to add, so let's go to Houston. And another big fumbler when the game is on the line, even though he's had a good game up until this point. Deshaun Watson, up until the fumble, 26 of 38 for 341 yards, no touchdowns, but he was slinging it. He did throw the interception too. So Deshaun Watson, I told y'all he's going from the cash list. This is the person, this is the player that is going from the cash list to the trash list. How do you fumble the ball on the Colts 2-yard line when you're down by 6 on second down? Folks, come on. Be a little bit more clutch, please. Yes, anybody can play between, the first and the fourth quarter. Once you get in the fourth quarter, that's when you have to really step up and turn it on. And Deshaun Watson did not do that last week. Truly unfortunate. Or this week, I should say. Deshaun Watson, welcome to the trash list. Not good. Not good. Alrighty, let's do another quarterback. And this time, this one's going to hurt me more. This one's going to hurt. All right, let's go to Minnesota and Jacksonville. Mike Glennon, no. We wanted to believe in Mike Glennon. He throws 2 interceptions. One comes in the second quarter. I can get over that one. But one comes in overtime after your defense just got to stop. Vikings got the ball to start in overtime, folks. The defense shuts it down of the Jags, and now you have Mike Glennon. Trust him to go down, lead you just into field goal range, kick the game-winning field goal, and get out of there with the win. But what does Mike Glennon do? He betrays us. He forsakens us. He throws an interception in overtime. Let's look at this play, folks. What's the one knock on Mike Glennon? He overthrows. What did he do here? He overthrows. Mike Glennon, this is what you get. A big overthrow in overtime. So, Mike Glennon, welcome to the trash list, my man. We try to believe in you. we did our investigative pick last week on you, and we liked you. We trusted you with 10 points. You did turn out that good. I mean, you gave us the 10 points, so we will give you that. But you couldn't close it out, and that's what truly matters. Wins and losses, and Mike Lennon just lost. Unfortunate. All right, we've got one more addition here in the trash list. And, I mean, is it the most obvious trash performance we've ever seen in a game? You're up how many points? What is it? You're up 4 points with 13 seconds left, and you call a blitz, and the corners over pursue and get beat on a double move? What? Jets defense is going on the trash list. Now, I know they just fired their defensive coordinator. That should be trash enough. That should be punishment enough, but we still got to honor them on the trash list. We probably take them off next week. We've already got Adam Gase on here, and the head coach, or the defensive coordinator was just fired. But I mean, this goes for the players on the field too. What was that cornerback doing, biting on a double move on a Hail Mary attempt? Come on. Jets defense. First time we've had a defense on the trash list. Not good. We've had them on the cash list. Jets making the first of everything, right? Classic Jets. Classic trash Jets. Alrighty, so this is the trash list going into Week 14. We've got Adam Gase, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Mike McCarthy, Zeke Elliott, Anthony Lynn, Joey Sly, Zane Gonzalez, Mitch Trubisky, Deshaun Watson, Mike Lennon, and the Jets defense. Not a good list to be on. I would not want to be associated with any of those players or coaches on that list. Alrighty, here we go. The power rankings of Week 13. These will be the power rankings going into Week 14. We've got a lot of movement here, folks. A lot of movement going around here. A lot of teams with surprising wins, great performances. Bills in Cleveland, they will be trending up. A lot of poor performances. The Seahawks, the Steelers. So a couple of people going down as well, but we've got a big shakeup here. Alrighty, so this was the power rankings going into Week 13. We had the Bills at 10, the Browns at 9, the Rams at 8, the Dolphins at 7, the Saints at 6, the Packers at 5, the Seahawks at 4, the Titans at 3, the Chiefs at 2, and the Steelers remaining number 1. But that's all about to get changed right here. So we'll start here at number 10, go all the way up to number 1. Our new power rankings in the NFL are this, folks. A new number 10 team is going to be... I had a real trouble, folks, in this list. So we have a lot of big jumps, big up and downs, but this is how we have to move it around because of some good performances that we saw. So what have you done for us lately? That's kind of our motto here. So the new number 10 team, they are falling from the number 4 spot. The Seattle Seahawks are now number 10. What the heck goes on with that offense sometimes? I mean, sometimes that offense just cannot move the ball, and that's what happened at home this week. They could not move the ball. Russell Wilson could not move the ball. Chris Carson could not move the ball, and it's just unfortunate they put up, 17 points? Is that what they put up? Not 12 points. Even worse, they put up 12 points, and 2 of them was on the defensive end of the ball with the safety. So the offense put up 10 points. I don't know. I don't get this Seahawks offense. They have everything. They have the coach. They have the quarterback. They have the wide receiver. They have the line. They have the running game. What more do they need? They just don't put up points sometimes, or they'll turn the ball over. So we have the Seahawks offense where we see them not putting up a lot of points or a lot of turnovers with Russell Wilson. It's starting to get a little much for me. I was a huge believer in the Seattle team early in the season. They were always, in the top 5. But since, Russell Wilson started to turn the ball over, this offense has kind of sputtered in some games, and we cannot, trust it too much here. It's against the Giants, and I mean, they've got no big pieces. That was just a must-win game for the Giants, and they pull out all the stops, and they won the game. But the Seahawks offense, there's still no excuse for them not moving the ball, not putting up the points, not converting, on those drives, on those yards. So in the defense, I mean, I think I like the defense. They have the pieces, they have the names, they have the coaches. They just don't execute all the time. So Seahawks, they have to drop down to number 10. We have to watch them again next week, see if they can prove us wrong or prove that they can start putting up points again and stop turning over the ball. But until then, I saw some other great things from other teams. So unfortunate for Seattle, they have to drop down to number 10. Alrighty, our new number 9 team, and once again, I mean, another big drop here. The number 3 team is going all the way down to number 9, and that the new number 9 team is the Tennessee Titans. I mean, this is the second time that we've seen the Titans against a good team. Steelers was the first time. Browns is the current time, where they just get off to the slowest start in offensively and defensively. Offensively, they don't put up any points. They put up 7 points in the first half against the Browns this week. And on the defensive end of the ball, they gave up 38 points against the Browns in the first half. I mean, they just get off to slow starts sometimes, and that is a little concerning. Now, they're always making up for it in the second half. They did it against the Steelers in the second half, where they made it like a 4-point game. In the end, they still lose, but they made it a little bit closer than what it actually was, and they kind of won the second half. And they also did it again this week against the Browns. They kind of won the second half a little bit, putting up the points, making it a one-score game, making it look a lot closer than what it actually was. But this is a little concerning for us, kind of like the Seahawks, where they kind of struggle scoring sometimes, or they turn the ball over. This Titans team, sometimes they get off to a very, very late start offensively and defensively. And if they have to face, if they get into the playoffs and they have to face the Chiefs will blow them out in the first half like they did last season. Who else? We got the Steelers. I mean, they already did it this season. The Browns, they already did it this season. So this Tennessee Titans better button it up right from the get-go. They're very well coached. That's why after halftime, they always come out firing and do very well after halftime, because those are good coach adjustments. Everybody's making the necessary adjustments to win the game based on what they saw in the first half. So this Titans team is very well coached. They just need to be ready to play right from the get-go. And if they can do that continually, they're one of the best teams in the league, because you have to get the running game going early in this team, or in the game, for the Tennessee Titans to show off what they want to show off and be the true team. But they need the running game to get going from the get-go, and when it doesn't, they stall, and they stutter again, and stutter some more until the halftime, and then they start to get it figured out a little bit. So we dropped the Tennessee Titans all the way down to number 9. Unfortunate. Alrighty, number 8, and this is a little bit of a rarity here, but this just speaks to how well some teams performed this week. So, the Dolphins, they are dropping from 7 to 8, even though they won. How crazy. Once again, a slow start. That's kind of why we're dropping them down. The Dolphins, Tua, he looked good in the second half, in the third quarter more specifically, but in the first half, slow start, they go into halftime down 7-6 against the Bengals. I mean, this offense really needs to start stepping it up a little bit more. We don't have a lot of pieces offensively. I would say this is probably one of the worst offensive units in the top 10. Out of everybody in the top 10 right now, the Dolphins, their offense, they've got the worst amount of pieces. I mean, we don't have that many wide receivers, and the wide receivers that we are playing with, one's 5'11", and yes, Tyreek Hill is like 5'11" too, but he doesn't have the speed. He's very close, but he doesn't have the catching ability with the speed that Tyreek Hill has. So we have a discount Tyreek Hill, and that doesn't really work when he's 5'11". So he's still good, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Jakeem Grant, but I'm saying as far as offensive pieces go, I think the Dolphins have the worst out of the top 10. So definitely have to clean up the offense a little bit. I mean, this defense alone can basically win the game. I mean, we had a fumble 6 or something like that, a pick 6. So if our offense never stepped foot on the field, this is a tie game against the Bengals 7-7. So the defense is always gets it done. Their top 2 defense in the league, no doubt. And, that's kind of why Tua's been having a lot of success. It's because of the defense. So little bit of a change here with the Dolphins, but we have to see Tua start progressing a little bit more if he wants to keep pace in this top 10, because we've got some offensive powerhouses that we just saw from Buffalo, and Buffalo Chiefs are always a powerhouse. Browns were a powerhouse this week. Packers can always be a powerhouse offensively. So the Dolphins, they need to start kind of competing with kind of the points that other teams are putting up. So Dolphins drop 1 spot even though they win. Alrighty, number 7 now. We are going to go with the Rams at number 7. They move up 1 spot. Very good win here against on the road against the Cardinals, not letting Kyler Murray do too much. That's huge. We've always been a big proponent of this Rams defense as one of the top 3, top 5 defenses in the league. The offense was kind of our big kind of knock against the Rams overall, and they put up, 40 points this week? very good. Most of it coming, kind of half of it coming just on the defense, setting them up on short fields. I think they had a pick six. So can I even get to this game? Can I even find the game? Who are we even talking about? Right here. Right here, Rams, Cardinals. Yeah, they put up 38 points. Very, very good. Offensively, it was probably about 28 of their own points. So very good job by the Rams on the road after getting beat by the 49ers. They come back and, prove that they're still a decent team. So Rams jump up a spot. Their offense is still kind of a little bit iffy in my opinion. They put up the yards and the stats. They always don't correlate with the points sometimes, but the defense is very good. This is kind of like the Dolphins. They have a better offense than the Dolphins, but they don't always show it. So the Rams, they move to number 7. Alrighty, number 6 in a huge jump here. They went from 10 to number 6, and we have to give it to them, the Buffalo Bills. What a game yesterday. Now, I get it was against the 49ers, but the 49ers are still trending up a little bit, kind of on a weekly basis. They're getting better every week. Now, the defense was absolutely atrocious for the 49ers. It didn't even look like they were it just looked like they were in zone every single time, folks. That's all I could just keep watching. It was like every time somebody's wide open, they're just playing zone and leaving them wide open. I'm like, they're just playing pitch and catch out there. It was truly wild. But Josh Allen, nevertheless, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards, looking good. He did fumble, so that is a knock. But we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt here. They're 9-3. They're winning games. Their defense is doing very good. They're kind of closing out games. Their offense, they're consistently scoring. And that's something that you definitely want to see from an offense. So Josh Allen, he's kind of taking care of the ball. Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley are kind of a huge kind of wide receiver threat, kind of 1 and 2. So got to watch out for them. But very well done by the Bills here to take a Monday night game that they haven't won since 1999. Finally get it. Primetime TV. It looked very buttoned up. It looked clean. Looked good. And it is against the 49ers. But as I said, they've kind of been trending up. And they just beat the Rams last week. And everybody was like, the Rams are trashed. So, if we're going to go by that logic, keep that same energy when you're talking about the 49ers this week. I thought the 49ers were going to win this week, honestly. I thought Nick Mullins would have pulled it through. I thought the really defense of the 49ers were going to play a lot better than what they did this week. But Josh Allen carves them up. And at the end of the day, all that matters is the win, and they get the win. So well done to the Buffalo Bills. We'll move them up to number 6. Hopefully they can handle this big jump. I mean, the last time we put them on the list, besides, number 10 last week, was, they had a horrible performance the next week, and we instantly kicked them off. So hopefully they don't make me look like a clown. I'm buying in a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Buffalo Bills, number 6 team. Alrighty, number 5 team, new number 5, and this team jumped up from number 9 to number 5 here, and we got to give it to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that performance by Baker Mayfield, wow. That was great coaching. That was great execution of the game plan. Baker Mayfield not turning it over. He still fumbled in the fourth quarter. I'm not forgetting that, but we're going to overlook it a little bit because of how well he performed in that first half. So very well done to the Cleveland Browns. I do kind of want to see how this Cleveland Browns team reacts facing a good team when everything doesn't kind of go right from the get-go. But hey, from what we saw, it was perfect. They went on the road against the Tennessee Titans team, who is a very good team in my opinion. I mean, I had them at number 3 going into this week, folks. I'm high on the Tennessee Titans, and they got out to a slow start, and the Cleveland Browns took advantage. Taking advantage of what your opponent gives you, I can't knock that. I can never knock that. So well done to the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield looked good. The rushing game looked good. The defense in the first half looked good. The defense in the second half, they were just kind of, backing off. We don't need to press. We don't need to give up that kind of one shot to kind of give momentum back to the Titans and bring them back into this game. So, like the Browns, like what Kevin Stefanski is doing, and when Baker Mayfield's not turning the ball over, this is what you get. 45 points, huge amounts of points in a short amount of time. 38 points in the first half. Absolutely magnificent. I love what the Browns did this week, and they proved that they can just be good from the start to really the finish, not turn the ball over. Baker Mayfield can handle throwing it 30 plus times again. How great is that? I mean, every time I talk about Baker Mayfield, it's like, if he throws the ball more than 30, 35 times, he's going to throw some picks. He didn't do that this week. So huge news, getting better every week. What have you done for us lately? Bills and Browns both showing out, both rewarded heavily with big jumps here in the power rankings. So well done to both of those teams. Alrighty, number 4, a little bit of a jump for this team as well, and we're going to put the New Orleans Saints at number 4. Loved what Taysom Hill is doing, and this is probably his last week. I mean, I think they probably go back to Drew Brees this week, which I don't think is the right call. I would say, I mean, Taysom Hill is doing a fantastic job, dual threat, throwing the ball, running the ball. Teams cannot stop this man, so he's doing very well. I don't think you'd start Drew Brees this week. I would let him get 1,000% healthy for the playoffs. You've got a decent sized lead. I think they have like a 2-game lead over first place because I think they've got 1 loss, and I think the Packers have 3. So they've got a 2-game lead for the first spot in the NFC. That's what every team wants because there's only one bye week for the top seed of each conference. So Saints here, I think they stick with Taysom Hill, and I think that's fine. He's getting the ball to his actual wide receivers. They've been winning without Alvin Kamara. They weren't using Alvin Kamara the last 2 of the 3 weeks. They just used him last week, but the other 2 weeks they weren't using him a lot, and they were still winning the game. So that's huge for them. Taysom Hill's looking good. The Saints defense is looking good, holding the Falcons to, 9 points in the first meeting, and then like 17 points again this meeting. So even with a full healthy Atlanta squad, Julio Jones was good to go. Todd Gurley was good to go. The Saints defense locks it up. The Saints offense does what they do. Taysom Hill spreading the ball around, everybody getting involved. Nobody can stop the dual threat. Now, he did fumble 3 times and he did lose 1, so that is a little worrisome, but in the grand scheme of things, they still get the win. He's still looking good. The arm is still looking good. The receivers are still looking good. The defense is still looking good, and that's without their number 1 quarterback. So when they get him back, hopefully he shows out. So, and this really just speaks to the Saints coaching and everybody buying in. Last season, Teddy Bridgewater fills in for 5 games. They win all 5 games. Taysom Hill fills in for 3 games so far this season. They win all 3 games. They're 8-0 when Drew Brees is out this season and last season. I mean, folks, no other team could do that. Tell me one other team that can lose their starting quarterback in 2 seasons, in 2 different seasons, and combine go for 8-0 in their backup quarterbacks. No other team can do that, folks. No other team can. Saints can. They've got the weapons. They've got the coaches, and this is what they do. They always show out in the end of the seasons, getting ready for the playoffs. I think it's a mistake starting Drew Brees this week, but we'll see what they do. Taysom Hill, I'm a believer. I'm a big fan. I think we have to start talking about Taysom Hill in the same category that we talk about Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. He's up there with those folks. So Saints move up to number 4. Alrighty, new number 3 team is going to be the Packers. Folks, this is probably one of the best offensive teams we've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best you can make the argument for the best quarterback of all time to do it. The running attack with Aaron Jones, I mean, this man's consistently going for like 130 yards while Aaron Rodgers is throwing for 300 yards himself. So it's real crazy. The receivers, Devontae Adams, Lazard, everybody getting involved, being consistent for the Packers. The game plans, the play calling is absolutely fantastic. Aaron Rodgers not turning the ball over, absolutely fantastic. In the Packers defense, just being kind of a game manager. How crazy is that? Usually the defense really needs to be a huge force to be reckoned with, but with the Packers, the defense is just kind of a game manager. We're gonna let Aaron Rodgers kind of be our defense and go out and do all the heavy lifting. It will just be the game manager. Usually we have the game managers on offense in the quarterback position, but with the Packers, the defense is the game manager, and it is kind of crazy to say. So well done to the Packers. They're looking good. We're starting to get to the back half of the season. I think the Packers clean all of their mistakes up. I think Aaron Rodgers cleans everything up. They start not throwing any more interceptions, not killing themselves on their own, and Packers at number 3. I love what Aaron Rodgers is doing, folks. This man, you can make the case for MVP, I think. Alrighty, new number 2 team. Oh boy. New number 2. Who's the new number 2? Well, it's the former number 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, folks, they've officially lost their number 1 seed. They've been the number 1 seed on our top 10 for, I would say, about 6-7 weeks. Ever since the Chiefs lost to the Raiders, I think we've had him on as number one. So very well done to the Pittsburgh Steelers for an 11-0 run. Fantastic. But this week it came to an end. Unfortunate. Once again, we're not penalizing the Steelers too much for losing that game. Wonky schedule the last 2 weeks. Playing on Thanksgiving, they were supposed to have their bye later in the year. All gets taken away from them. Now, a little bit of, worrisome was the offense of the Steelers. Very kind of lackluster. They put up 17 points. Even though Big Ben was slinging it around, they didn't really turn the ball over. The running attack, they definitely need that with the Steelers. But other than that, he wasn't getting the ball to his playmakers. Chase Claypool had 2 catches. Juju Smith-Schuster had 2 catches. So Steelers, a little bit of a bad offensive game, and that's kind of what we're going to chalk it up to. Bad offensive game and a wonky schedule. I still love what the Steelers defense can do. The Steelers defense can't compete with the Chiefs, folks. I mean, yes, they can. They have the speed, they have the talent, they have the corners, and they have the safeties to keep up with the speed and the kind of the agility that the Chiefs have. So the Steelers team is still good, folks. We're not writing them off. They've lost 1 game. Okay, is that supposed to change our opinions because they lost 1 game at 5 o'clock on Monday? When was the last time a 5 o'clock game has been played on Monday? I'll wait for that. I mean, folks, can we all relax a little bit? Let's take a breath in and take a breath out. Let's all take a chill. Let's all relax. The Steelers team is good. They're very well coached. Big Ben is playing out of his mind. They have the receivers, folks. They have the receiver depth. The running game, they usually have that. Connor or Snell, they usually get it done. This game, they didn't. Unfortunate. The defense kind of gave up. I mean, the defense did what they did, or what they kind of do consistently. They forced a turnover, I think. Did they? Let's see. Did they get a turnover? Let's see. No, they didn't. But they were close to getting a turnover. 23 points. I mean, that's not a lot of points to give up. Unfortunately, when you lose, that is a lot of points to give up. But, the Steelers defense, they give up 3 points in the first half. They only put up 14 points in the first half. So I'm chalking it up heavy to the offense just having, a bad game. So we're not penalizing the Steelers here. They'll drop 1 spot. They win next week. I put them back at number 1, folks. I put them back at number 1 if they win next week. So the Steelers, the offense, they just need to step it up a little bit. They had 1 bad game. All right. That means we've got a new number 1 team, and I think everybody knows who we're going to put on here. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, folks, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback of all time. I'm making that claim now. He is currently the GOAT. 3 years in, 4 years in, however you want to call it. I don't know. 5 years in? Is he 5 years in? I don't think so. But he's the best quarterback of all time, folks. The arm, the running game, the awareness, the situational, kind of awareness, knowing how to play every single down, every single game, stepping up in the big moments, the Super Bowl. The AFC Championship games, beating Tom Brady multiple times. The coach, Andy Reid, he's finally got his weapon, and he will never let him go. That's why they signed him for 10 years. They're building around Patrick Mahomes with the speed and the bigness of Travis Kelce, the speed of Tyreek Hill, the bigness of Sammy Watkins, the physicalness of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the elusiveness of Le'Veon Bell. Folks, this team is shaping out to be one of the deadliest teams, the most explosive teams in NFL history, and that says a lot because we were kind of saying that about, or a lot of people were saying that about what Brady was going to do with the Bucs. That was supposed to be one of the deadliest offenses in the league, but it's still the Chiefs. So Kansas City Chiefs are the new number 1 team. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, that's all really you guys need to know. The defense is still very good as well. Tyrann Mathieu, one of the best safeties in the league, true captain of this Kansas City defense in the, he holds everybody accountable and he gets, everybody ready to play at their best shape. So Kansas City Chiefs, Steelers, they've been battling for 1 and 2 this entire season, and the Steelers unfortunately fall to number 2 here with their loss, but that doesn't mean that the Steelers team cannot keep up with this Chiefs offense. They can, folks. They can, and they will. It will be a great game if these 2 teams face in the AFC Championship game. I hope they do, just to kind of prove everybody wrong, because everybody's writing off the Steelers right now. We are not. Alrighty, so this is the top 10 going into Week 14. We've got the Seahawks at 10, the Titans at 9, the Dolphins at 8, the Rams at 7, the Bills at 6, the Browns at 5, the Saints at 4, the Packers at 3, the Steelers at 2, and the Chiefs at 1. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow is my favorite day of the week, our Wednesday film study. And I'll tell you right now just a couple of games that we are going to be looking at, a couple of drives that we are going to be looking at. We'll probably look at Taysom Hill again. I want to see these fumbles. He had 3 of them. He only lost 1, but he still had 3. So I want to see the arm still. He went 27 of 37 for 232 yards. Still should be good. So we got to keep tabs on Taysom Hill, even though he probably won't be playing anymore. Unfortunately, he probably should be playing. In my opinion, he should be playing at least another week, probably 2 weeks, just to get Drew Brees fully healthy. We'll watch Mitch Trubisky on this, on this fumble drive, and then his attempt to try and make up for that fumble drive and lead the Bears on a game-winning touchdown drive. So we'll look at that. What else do we got here? Colts, Texans. We'll probably watch, Deshaun Watson fail. We'll watch that. We'll maybe keep tabs on Tua again. We might look at Tua some more. We'll look at Mike Glennon, just since we've been so invested in Mike Glennon the last 2 weeks. We've got to keep tabs on him. Not going to look at anything from the Raiders and Jets. All you need to know is a Hail Mary. We're going to look at Baker Mayfield. How good is this man actually looking? We know the numbers are there, but how is the accuracy looking? How is, the screen test looking? With our eyes, we see it in the stats. We're going to watch Baker Mayfield in this first half and see if he actually kind of deserves this kind of top 5 placement. Rams, Arizona, may look at something from there. We'll probably look at this New England Patriots defense, try to look at some of that. We got to look at probably not Colt McCoy, maybe a little Colt McCoy. He's probably not going to be playing anymore, so probably won't look at too much of him. We will look at Jalen Hurts, all of his passing attempts. There's 12 of them. We got to look at all of them. Does he look better than Carson Wentz? Chiefs, Broncos, probably not too much in that. Washington Steelers, probably not too much in that. And Bills, 49ers, I may look at a couple of Bills film just to kind of show you of how wide open these receivers were that Josh Allen was throwing to. But maybe we knocked the man down a little bit. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for us today. We will be back here tomorrow noon Eastern, live at twitch.tv/takesbyfans. Watch live, listen, watch whenever you want. Takes by Fans is on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on podcasting apps. Just look up Takes by Fans, folks. Alrighty, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.